Okay, MegaWhale team, welcome back to the channel and thank you for tuning in. I hope you're all having a fantastic day today. In today's video, we are taking a look at the macro and short-term price following what has been an absolutely massive rally for Bitcoin. We are going to be discussing the implications this rally has had on the macro charts, whether or not we will see short-term pullbacks, whether or not Bitcoin will continue into the $120,000 region, and whether or not the altcoin season will begin. We are going to be discussing everything you need to know about what is happening on the short term and macro today. Before we get into it, make sure to smash that like button, hit that comment button, and subscribe to the channel. We post daily videos for Bitcoin focusing on the facts, the data, the technical, and the structural information. No hype, no BS, no emotion, just pure, raw TA. If that is the kind of content you are interested in, you can also join us on Telegram. That is the first link down below. You'll get access to charts, updates, videos, educational posts, news events, and everything you need to stay in the loop for cryptocurrency with Bitcoin and the relevant economic news. And if you are interested in joining our VIP channel, you can do that by clicking the pinned comment. Contact our admin by clicking this name, check out a 53+ month trading track record, or watch a 10-minute video showing you inside the channel. Go ahead and check it out. Let's jump on in. So as we can see, guys, over the past 24 hours, Bitcoin has seen a fantastic rally following a retest of that $110.5 to $110,000 region. As we discussed in yesterday's video, that was the expected move. We were looking for a rejection into 110.5, followed by the next leg up for the market. And this massive rally has been something we have been prepared for very, very long now. We've been discussing for many weeks that we have had a low historical resistance range sitting above 110,000, and that a breakout of 110,000 would very likely trigger a violent, fast, and volatile move toward the upside, potentially as high as $119,000. So we have not seen the price push up to 119,000, but we did see the price push just shy of 118,000. Nevertheless, a fantastic rally. We'll come back to this in just a second. Let's start on the market data. 24-hour volume is up 32%. 369 billion. Liquidations just over $1 billion at 111% in the positive. The majority of those liquidations, of course, coming from short positions, 969 million in shorts. Moving over to the S&P 500, the S&P 500 is currently rejecting from that daily high, again, watching that prior daily high as a trigger for the next leg up. Provided we remain underneath that daily high, we are watching for potential rejections towards the weekly high at 6171. If we are able to break through this daily high at 6,335, we will be expecting continuations higher, potentially 6,400 and 6,500. Until then, we do have a warning sign print, which is positive. Well, this is again representing positive momentum, but it is representing weakening positive momentum. So it can be a very early sign for a potential correction incoming in the short term, or at least an early sign that the buyers are losing a little bit of steam over here, which could result in a short-term pullback. Of course, this is not bearish. This is just a very preliminary indication that the market is showing a little bit of weakness here for the first time in this entire uptrend. Let's jump over to the DXY. The DXY is looking still relatively bearish. Again, we are expecting macro corrections into 92 to 93 over the coming months. There has been rumors of a potential interest rate cut this month. Depending on how that plays out, will definitely speed up or slow down the movement of the DXY. That is it for the broader markets, guys. Wanted to keep that nice and short and sharp. Let's jump into Bitcoin. Before we do, if you were interested in supporting the content and supporting me making this content, go ahead and sign up to BitGet BitUnix or BingX with the exchange links down below, you'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume. You'll go to support me making this content, and of course, you'll support yourself in your trading journey, trading on exchanges I use and I trust. Go ahead and check it out. We'll play an ad and we'll jump back in. If you are looking for a new exchange or just want to support the channel, sign up to BitUnix with the link down below. You'll get a lifetime trading fee discount of 15%, which can build up to 45% based on your trading volume, as well as access to a bonus reward center, and of course, all of the exclusive campaigns we run on this exchange. You'll also get access to BitUnix being a non-KYC exchange, meaning you can sign up from anywhere in the globe without regulations. And most importantly, I only promote exchanges I trust and I use. As you can see, I trade on BitUnix very regularly, being the highest VIP level with over $500 million in trading volume for the last 30 days. And lastly, if you were interested in signing up to our other two exchanges, BingX or BitGet, you can also do that via the links down below. You as well will get the 15% trading fee discount and everything else that comes with it. Go ahead and sign up. Thank you for supporting. Let's jump back in. Okay, legends, let's go ahead and get stuck back into it. So first and foremost, I want to take a look at the total cryptocurrency market cap and total altcoin market cap. Now that we have seen a fantastic rally for Bitcoin, a lot of questions are, will the altcoin market see a equally strong rally? When will that begin? And how is the total cryptocurrency market cap looking? So when we're looking at the total cryptocurrency market cap, of course, we were able to break through this daily resistance, which facilitated a move into our next level of high time frame resistance at 3.6 to 3.7 trillion. This is going to be our macro monthly resistance, which we will need to break above if we want to see the market rally into new all-time highs for the total cryptocurrency market. Again, this will enable Bitcoin to continue through 120,000 and will facilitate the altcoin market to aggressively continue upwards. Now, when we're looking at this, we do still have a downtrend on the RSI and the weekly, which we'll need to break to facilitate that move. So at the moment, it is safer to assume we are moving into a point of resistance, and therefore we could definitely see some profit taking, at least in the short term, for Bitcoin after this massive rally. But again, if we are able to break through this level of resistance, it is very likely the market will continue aggressively upwards for quite the foreseeable future. When we're looking at the altcoin market has seen a great rally as a consequence to the entire market rising, of course. But for the altcoin market to enter the mini altcoin season, we need to see this $940 billion level break. If we break through $940 billion, we will see a smashing rally for the altcoin market up to $1 trillion, which of course will add 20, 30, if not 40% returns on the majority of altcoins. So a lot of people are wondering, is this too late? Did I miss the move? Etc, etc. The answer is, for altcoins, no. There is still a lot of potential for altcoins here if the market is able to break through 940. Let's take a look at Bitcoin now. So there was a chart we were discussing yesterday, and that was the weekly chart. A pattern we discussed was on the weekly that through the history of this bull run, we have seen the same pattern play out. And that pattern is, we have a consolidation, we have bearish momentum, we eventually see a positive momentum shift, and after the positive momentum shift, we see a significant rally in the upward direction. If we take a look at the other instance, we had the same scenario. We had a macro descending channel formation, we had again falling momentum, we saw a positive momentum shift, and we saw a macro continuation upwards. If we look at the current price action, we are seeing exactly the same thing play out again. Yesterday, we had the RSI breakout, and we have started to see that massive continuation upwards. So the big question is, how high could Bitcoin go here before we reach a potential top? To answer that, we need to take a look at the short term. Now, to give an exact answer is very tricky as we are in price discovery. And while we are in price discovery, it is tricky to say for sure where the price will move to, as we have no historical data above this region to show how the price has historically reacted to these horizontal levels. And therefore, the targets have to be much more speculative. We can use a contextual form of analysis to define when and where potential tops could be, or we could use a measured move from our prior consolidations to mark key points of interest. So if we were doing that, we were taking a measured move, the horizontal consolidation, the depth of the consolidation, applied to the breakout point, we can see that could take Bitcoin as high as $119,000. So at the moment, we are still expecting continuations to $119,000 for Bitcoin, provided this low at 110 is able to sustain. So I do not believe this move is over. I believe we still have some room to continue higher here for Bitcoin, but whether or not we see that immediately or whether or not we see short-term corrections before we see that is completely up to the short term. We'll discuss that in a second, but overall, I think the market still has some room up. We are watching for that $119,000 target, and then we will look for rejections from here. Again, if we're looking at something like the 4-year cycle, the 4-year cycle does suggest there is still some room to move upwards. If we're looking at the traditional 4-year cycle, that will give us a top date of October 6, 2025. That remains at least 2 months for Bitcoin to move upwards. If we are looking at the negative 2-bar theory, which suggests the cycle is diminishing by 2 months each cycle, that will give us a top of the first week of August 2025, which is actually only in about 3 weeks. That would line up with a potential move up into this level of resistance as one final move up or even higher. So we are watching for, again, 119,000 as potential rejection points, and then we are watching the first week of August and of course the 6th of October for subsequent rejection points for Bitcoin. If we are diving into the short-term price action here on the 5-minute chart, the chart is looking relatively healthy here, having now retested yet again the 50 EMA. Provided we can sustain above that 50 EMA, we are watching for continuations up into that $119,000 region. Of course, if we lose that 50 EMA, you can see already we enter this low historical resistance range and we run the risk of correcting back to 13,500. Again, even if we see that correction to 13,500, we are well and truly sitting above the 10,500 level. And if we go back to the weekly chart, right, for us to validate this positive momentum shift, for us to confirm this is going to happen, all we need to do is close a weekly candle above 110,000, and the weekly close is occurring in 3 days. So provided we do not see a massive nuke, right, in the next 3 days, it is highly likely Bitcoin will be traveling into 119,500 within the next few weeks, or even within the next few days, right? If we see this volatility continue, we could see this happen within the next 2 days if that volatility is able to remain. Other than that, guys, that is it for the analysis. The market is looking good. The altcoin market is heating up. It's almost at the breaking point for when we would expect a large rally for altcoins. When we're looking at the total cryptocurrency market cap, we do see some warning signs here for potential bearish divergence and rallying into resistance, which would mark again the fact that we maybe only have this one more move up to 119 before we see corrections, which would also line up with the August top for Bitcoin. Now, when we're looking at things like interest rates and the economic policy and the global geopolitical environment with tariffs and the de-escalation in Iran, the war, these can definitely cause the market to continue upward and aggressively well beyond the 4-year cycle tops. So it's important to note that you should not be using these top dates as points where you just exit the market blindly. It is just a key date that you should pay attention to. The probabilities are very much in favor that the 4-year cycle will come to an end eventually, and this may be the cycle where we see Bitcoin continue through the top date and does not correct. Something to keep your eyes on, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Today's video was a little bit of a shorter one because we want to get through the video nice and quickly. I hope you enjoyed nevertheless. I hope you learned something. The key levels you should be watching on Bitcoin on the short term, the $15,100 level, Okay, if we drop below that level, we run the risk of corrections. Until then, we do still have a shot for 119,000. Then the next levels, we're watching the weekly chart, the positive momentum shift. We're watching the 110,000 level. We're also watching 119,500 as the measured move breakout target for Bitcoin. And then finally, of course, on the total cryptocurrency market, we are watching the bearish divergence, the 3.6 trillion, and then the $940 billion level, on the altcoin market for the next leg up. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Have a fantastic day. Catch you guys on the next one. Bye.